Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting installment of Wrestling Rampage. And
the two amigos are back.
The two amigos are back in this bitch. It's a pretty long day.
Yes, it is.
It's fucking 6:45 in the morning.
Yeah, we couldn't film everything in one day, and I went to work, got off, and now we're filming this. But
I got a doctor's appointment at 8:30.
That's right. So we got some stuff that we got to do. But this video is not going to take too long for us to do.
No.
So we're going to go ahead and do this. Tommy, we were tagged by our good boy,
Our good old buddy.
Mark Boy 316.
That's right.
Go check out Mark Boy 316's channel in the description box below. You'll see his name. You'll see a link. Click that link. Goes directly to his channel. Hit that subscribe button. Tell him Wrestle Rampage sent you. God, we haven't done one of these tag videos in maybe a year.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, actually, no, hold on. I think there was one other tag video that we did about what got us into wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was earlier of 2022. So, this one is our 5 DVDs that you thought were going to be bad.
Yeah.
But ended up liking.
Yeah.
So, and this could be any wrestling DVDs.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be specifically just WWE.
Yes.
It could be any kind of wrestling DVDs.
Yes. It don't have to be just WWE.
No doubt. And I got 5. Tommy has 5. And do you want to do the tag after
Yeah, we'll do the tag after here.
Okay.
After we do our 5 here.
Our 5. I'll go ahead and go first. I'll go, then you'll go.
Yeah.
We'll go. I do have this in a particular order.
So do I.
But not like a, it's kind of one of those kind of orders here. The first one I have is from WWE. It's Rob Van Dam, One of a Kind. And I will say this. This one is technically just like a match compilation of a lot of Rob Van Dam matches. Now I will say this. I do like it because you do get to see some matches that you wouldn't think you would see. Like, for instance, some of the first matches on here are from fucking Saturday Night.
Yeah.
There, Pat Rose, Scotty Flamingo, which was Raven before he got there, and then Hardcore TV, which if you didn't get it in the Philadelphia area, you didn't really get to see it. Now the rest of them are kind of pay-per-view matches and stuff like that. So, that's where that kind of tampers
Except for
off.
that one with Bam Bam Bigelow there.
Yeah, the one with Bam Bam Bigelow was on Hardcore TV as well, but a lot of the rest of them are pretty much pay-per-views and stuff, so you kind of get to know what you're doing on that one. But I actually got this at a I think I only paid like $5 for it at a flea market. That's where I actually got my Rob Van Dam, One of a Kind. And the one thing I do like about it is it has a shit ton of extras. It even has the Before They Were Superstars segment that was on there. How he does his airbrush tights. What happens with the frog splashes. Comparisons with Eddie Guerrero. He tours Jack's Pacific. Where he does his action figure. Where they actually scan his action figure and stuff in this DVD. It's actually pretty interesting, to be honest with you. And that's why I actually chose this one. Because, listen, I'm not the biggest Rob Van Dam fan out there, but I've always liked him in ECW, but I thought maybe this would just be like an ECW compilation of his matches. Come to find out, you got some WCW ones in there, you even got some WWE ones in there, and that fucking match right there with Jerry Lynn at Living Dangerously 99. That's a fantastic fucking match, by the way, if you guys ever check that out. So I'm going to go with Rob Van Dam, One of a Kind. Tommy?
Rob Van Dam, One of a Kind, huh?
One of a Kind. No Job Rob.
Yeah, well, I'm doing an ECW type DVD myself.
Not bad.
This is not WWE.
It's
basically independent.
Big Vision Entertainment.
Big Vision Entertainment.
They actually put out some good DVDs.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
I had to go with Director's Cut, Forever Hardcore.
The documentary.
Documentary, yes.
What made you think that you wouldn't like this?
Because it was indie.
Indie?
Yeah, come on. Low budget. Big Vision.
Big Vision is low budget.
Big Vision is a low budget wrestling DVD company, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I know this is going to fucking suck.
And we should say this. This came out a year after the rise and fall of ECW.
Yes.
Which is probably one of the best documentaries WWE ever did. Let's just be honest. It was.
Yeah.
Well, how would you compare that to ECW?
To me, this was like a kind of a follow-up.
Yeah, I would say so too. Yeah.
It felt like a follow-up to ECW's Rise and Fall.
And also got to interview other people that wasn't interviewed with WWE.
Yeah, for example, Shane Douglas, Terry Funk,
New Jack,
Sabu,
Raven,
Sandman, Joey Styles,
mm-hmm.
New Jack, Ty Gordon, Jerry Lynn,
Francine,
Kid Cash, Conan.
mm-hmm.
And they even had some writers from WCW like Terry Taylor on there and fucking shit-stain Ed Ferrara, which no one gave a fuck about what he had to say.
Yeah.
But, this was actually really, really interesting. And at first I thought it was going to suck. Then when I watched it, it was actually a pretty good documentary, actually. Especially when you got people that weren't on the Rise and Fall ECW DVD and stuff.
Those were just the WWE contracted wrestlers, like the Dudley Boys and Tommy Dreamer and Paul Heyman. But
yeah, I had to go with Forever Hardcore as my number 5. It's actually a pretty decent DVD.
Also has some bonus matches.
Yeah, it has some matches on there from XPW, which is trash. But I don't give a fuck about XPW. That's a porn wrestling company. I don't give a fuck about porn wrestling companies.
I agree with you.
But yeah, I highly recommend you give this a watch. It's actually pretty interesting. I have to go with Forever Hardcore.
Forever Hardcore. The director's cut.
The director's cut. The documentary.
I'm going to go with another WWE DVD. And this one may surprise some people. It is Rey Mysterio 619. I got this for $1. I think I found it either Peddler's Mall or the flea market or something. And I got it for $1. And this is when Rey first got into WWE. It says
2002.
Yeah, this one says it came out in 2003, so he was already there for about a year before they released this DVD. The reason why I didn't think it was going to be all that good is because from the back, it looks like a match comp.
Mm-hmm.
Great matches, by the way, but it looks like a match comp from the back. Where this one surprised me. It's actually kind of a documentary about Rey Mysterio. Which I will say this. If you guys ever find some of the other Rey Mysterio's DVDs, I think they hell in comparison to this. Because this one's actually more kind of like a documentary about Rey. He had the surgery 5 times on his left knee in here. He does! You see Rey Mysterio's crib in this. You see little young Dominic looking like Eddie.
Before the Eddie Guerrero hair?
Yeah, before the Eddie Guerrero hair.
You see Rey Mysterio rocking a mullet?
Yeah, Rey Mysterio rocking the mullet.
Looking like goddamn Slater off fucking Saved by the Bell with that hair.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? But this one I do highly recommend for a lot of people that are big fans of Rey, because I will say this, the Biggest Little Man that came out, it's just a match comp. The Life Behind the Masked Man, or whatever that one's called, that one, it talks a little bit before the matches, but it doesn't go into any kind of depth.
Yeah.
Neither does this one to a big degree, but it's the best documentary of Rey Mysterio that you will get. Because I think those were the only 3 Rey DVDs, right?
I think so, yeah.
And this one's the only one that's actually kind of a doc. So Rey Mysterio 619, and plus I got it for $1. So, Tommy.
All right, my number 4 is The Big Show, A Giant's World.
Every time I see show.
I'm the same way.
Every time I see him, I'm like, I don't want to see
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm the same way. All right? I'm going to be honest, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And thank goodness I only paid about $4 for this at Ollie's.
Good stuff cheap.
Good stuff cheap when they have wrestling DVDs.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the reason I added this, because one, I'm not a big fan of The Big Show, right? I respect him.
Look, I respect Show, But
I'm not a big fan.
every time I see Show, it disappoints me.
Yeah.
Because it just does. I'm just sorry, it just does. Like, he's never been a guy that I've actually been that interested in. I've never been a big fan of the Big Show. And every time I see it, and especially with us going back and watching fucking the 2011, 2012 run
Oh, yeah.
of him, it's been fucking ridiculous.
I agree.
He's been in the fucking title picture, and he fucking sucks. So, and he cries.
Well, like I said, I respect the Big Show. I'm not the biggest Big Show fan.
Or do you think it's because he's not like Andre? He's not one, like, every time it shows, like, when he was, wrestling, he was always on television.
Yeah.
Almost every fucking week. Where,
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, where I got kind of burnt out on...
See, if you would have seen Big Show once in a while, it would have meant something.
Yeah, it would have been a little more...
But seeing him every week kind of watered him down.
Yeah. And plus, not only that, but we also got to see him on OVW television.
Yeah, that made it even worse.
And that made it even worse.
Which, he was the only big star there, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Yeah.
WWE-wise.
But go ahead.
At least we had a former WWE champion show up.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
The reason I actually... At first, I was like, oh, God, a Big Show DVD?
Why?
Why, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I actually watched it, it was actually a really decent, good documentary about him. About his life and his struggles, because he had that disease like Andre had, and all that, and shows his struggles and everything else. So actually, it's a pretty decent documentary how he got involved in wrestling, what made him like wrestling, and stuff like that. And of course,
yeah, go ahead.
Of course, there's matches involved in here, But the documentary is actually really good, actually.
I can tell you got it from Ollie's because they got the little slash mark through the...
Yep, I got it from Ollie's, baby.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I actually really enjoyed this DVD, actually. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a real big Show fan. It's just, like, I have nothing against him. It's just, he wasn't one of my favorites. I respect him.
I don't know. Just every time Big Show came on my television, I'd rather do something else.
Well, like I said, I respect him. That's about it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this was actually a really good documentary, and I actually enjoyed it. I was really impressed with it. I thought this whole DVD was going to suck, to be honest with you. But then I was like, okay, I spent $4, so maybe I'll get something out of it. And actually, it was a really good documentary. It was actually $4 well spent, actually. So I actually enjoyed it. I give you a recommend, okay? I thought this was a decent DVD.
My next one, I didn't think was going to, like, suck or anything. It's just, I bought it to, me and Tommy watched a lot of wrestling, okay? And even wrestling before we were born. But we don't, sometimes that footage is hard to get.
Yeah.
And when I seen this come out, I'm like, when I did buy it, and I didn't watch it for the longest time. That's also what happened, too.
Yeah.
You get tired of other things, and other things take over your life or whatever at the time. I just didn't have the time to watch it.
Yeah.
And I put it off for so long, and when I actually did watch it, blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not a documentary or anything, but they do have some stories and things. It is Legends of MidSouth Wrestling. And the reason why is... growing up, we heard about the Mid-South area and how these, these legends that we've seen go to WWE or WCW got their big name, big start there in Mid-South and kind of grew their legendary status there. And going back and watching this gave me that thing, because let's just be honest here, right there front and center, Junkyard Dog. He was only in the WWE for a year. When he was in WWE, let's just be honest, recognizable name.
Yep.
Great character. But did he get any title opportunities?
He got an Intercontinental title shot at WrestleMania 1.
Yeah. Did it go anywhere?
And he did win that fucking Wrestling Classic tournament.
Yeah. But, I mean, other than that, did he really get any other really big opportunities?
No.
And let's just be honest, he was on drugs real bad. He wasn't the junkyard dog of old, where this is the junkyard dog that people really enjoyed. And this is the one thing I wanted to go back and see what was so great about the junkyard dog, because we've seen him in the WWF.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say that I wasn't impressed, because I was. It's just,
Yeah.
Where in Louisiana, where MidSouth was pretty much based in, you could see where it was the character. It was the over-the-top personality. Because Junkyard Dog never been the greatest wrestler in the world. He's more of a brawler. But what got him over was his personality, was his charisma, and you can't teach that.
Yeah.
So, and same thing with Hacksaw Jim Duggan as well. Let's just be honest. I mean, people love Hacksaw, but
yeah.
Seeing him as just this out of control, kick-ass motherfucker in Mid-South kind of just changed your ways.
Yeah.
So I highly suggest picking this up. And by the way, if you do find the Blu-ray version, there are some extras that are on the Blu-ray version. So that's why I picked that up anyway.
And there were actually a lot of good stars in Mid-South. You know, Ted DiBiase, the Freebirds, Jake Roberts, Terry Taylor, Chris Adams. There was a lot of Sting.
And also, that's what happened with Bill Watts, too, is because Bill Watts, once he lost the Junkyard Dog, he thought he could just replace the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
That's why he brought in, like, Snowman, and he didn't fucking work out at all.
Yeah.
Because it was Junkyard Dog as a charisma. It's not one of those things you can just fucking replace him with somebody and think that you're going to get the black audience or get any other kind of audience to just go after this person.
Yeah.
Very, very time capsule.
Yes, it is. It's actually a really good DVD.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's your turn.
All right. My number 3 is Eric Bischoff, sports entertainment's most controversial figure. I know people's like, why is fucking Eric Bischoff on this? Well, there's a reason. There's a lot of shit you don't know about Eric Bischoff. And actually, it was actually a really good documentary.
Did you like him in Cody, Wyoming?
Yeah, I'd love to go to Cody, Wyoming now.
Do you like the beer,
yeah,
too?
I'm going to drink his moonshine cup with him.
Yeah.
And actually, this was actually a really good documentary. And well done. And I like Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Because he's been in the business a long time. He knows what to do in the business. You know, he ain't like fucking someone that writes every fucking week like fucking Dave Meltzer. But yeah, this is actually a really interesting documentary. It goes on from when he was a kid all the way up to when he did karate and all that. Talked about when he was in AWA and everything else. It was actually
finally got the job for WCW.
Yeah, finally got the job in WCW and how he took WCW from nothing to something. Until everything went haywire in that company. Some of that is Bischoff's fault.
Some of that is Bischoff's fault.
You know, he even admits it. Even in the DVD, he admits it.
Yeah.
He says some of that stuff I did let go. You know, I let happen. But yeah, and there's a lot of good extras in here, like Eric Bischoff's top 10 most controversial moments, the JBL show with Eric Bischoff.
That's pretty cool.
And the trial of Eric Bischoff.
Is that where Vince throws him?
Vince throws him in the BFI?
yeah, the BFI truck.
Yeah, but this is actually a really good documentary, and it tells a lot about Eric Bischoff. And because there's a lot of stuff you might not even known about Eric Bischoff.
The one thing I do like about Eric Bischoff is not only his take on wrestling, because it's totally different than a lot of wrestling fans.
Yeah.
He's more of a TV fan, where he kind of looks at the TV side of wrestling more than an average fan would.
Yes. But yeah, I highly recommend you, if you haven't checked this out, I highly recommend you check out the Eric Bischoff DVD. It's actually really interesting.
I actually got the Blu-ray steelbook edition of it.
Yeah, it's actually a really interesting DVD. I highly recommend you give it a watch.
My next one is one that our good friend, Awesome 4K, recommended to me. And for the longest time, I just never picked it up. And I'm glad I finally did pick it up.
Got it.
Yeah, Tommy actually got a copy of it as well.
I'm glad I did.
And I'm glad we did too, because eventually this sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if you guys know, but High Spots don't sell DVDs anymore.
Not anymore. Nope.
They only sell it through video on demand, and so I'm glad I picked this up for what I did, and it was $4. It was only $4, and this is something, if you guys ever find it, pick it up, watch it. It's really good. It's called Gentleman's Choice, and it is the story of Gentleman Chris Adams, and him coming from England into Texas and pretty much taking over as a mainstay in Dallas for WCCW, and at that time being paired with Gino Hernandez and
What a great tag team they was.
Yeah, great tag team they were, and just feuding with the Von Erichs. And he was even there for pretty much the bitter end of WCCW as well. Even when Jerry Jarrett bought it.
Yep. And come on, Chris Adams is the guy that trained Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. And for him training it, fucking Stone Cold stole his wife.
Well, here's nothing. But
really did.
Well, yeah. Well, hey, that was a good story involved.
Yeah.
Storyline though.
Yeah.
Because that's how Steve Austin got his foot in the door.
He did.
Him and Chris Adams feuded over that.
And
also he has a great super kick. Probably one of the best super kicks I've ever seen.
But
I'm sorry, Sean. It's the truth. Sorry, Hickey. Eat some more cookies.
Hickey. But yeah, this is
See, Chris Adams didn't have no cookies.
This is a great DVD, and I'm so glad I picked it up for when I did, because they don't sell it anymore on High Spots. High Spots had it for $4 at one point.
And it was worth the $4.
It was well worth the $4. So,
and I actually watched it. It's a really good documentary.
And what it is a documentary about the last couple of days of Chris Adams' life, because, well, his friend shot him.
Yeah.
Because he was on a drunken drug binge, and it's pretty interesting.
Yes,
guys.
it is.
If you guys ever check it out, I didn't think it was going to be bad. It's just I got so much on my plate sometimes I don't have enough time to look at it. And Kenny goes, man, you need to get it. You need to get it. You need to go watch it. You got to watch it. And it didn't disappoint. So you go ahead, Tommy.
All right.
No, I got a question about that DVD though. Yeah, you say his friend shot him?
Yeah.
Did his friend get any time over it, or was it just?
He said self-defense.
Self-defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, you can go ahead.
All right, my next one is, I know you agree with this.
Yeah.
The Spectacular Legacy of the AWA.
That was one of those trepidatious ones that I was like, you know what, I want to get, but...
but I was like, oh man, AWA.
AWA.
I know how boring AWA is.
Yeah.
Because I've watched it.
We used to watch some AWA that came on ESPN.
Yeah, when it was on ESPN Classic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh God.
Yeah, so,
they're coming out with a DVD.
Yeah, it's like...
and I was like, oh God. Yeah. But... then when looking back on it, I'm glad I picked it up for $4 at FYE.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's a really good documentary.
It actually is, yeah.
And I actually enjoyed it. It goes from the time in AWA, when AWA was actually really on fire, when they had Hogan and Bobby Heenan and all those great...
Think about it. A lot of the big names that came through the 80s... in the 70s.
We're trained by Vern Gagne.
We're trained from Vern Gagne.
You know, Ric Flair, Sergeant Slaughter, Ricky Steamboat, the Iron Sheik. All these people, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, all these people, Jesse Ventura, all these people were trained by Vern Gagne.
Or came through the AWA.
Or came through the AWA. And I'm going to be honest, I wasn't a big AWA fan. And then watching this DVD, it was actually a really good documentary, even though Vern didn't pay nobody at Super Clash 3, Vern. But what'd you do, put the money in your pocket?
Lake Minnetonka cost a lot of money.
Yeah, he couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
That's when AWA was failing. You could tell AWA was in horrible shape around that time.
Oh, yeah.
We know. We reviewed Super Clash 3.
Yes, we did. Yes,
Check that out in the archives. And come on, they had Gene Okerlund. They had a whole great talent. And but I highly recommend you check out this DVD. It's actually a really good documentary. It tells you all the good things about AWA and everything.
I love Nick Bockwinkel.
And Nick Bockwinkel's fucking great. Still fucking talking in his... he's one of the best promo guys, actually.
Oh, yeah. Love
And, and I highly recommend you check out this documentary. It goes in depth about AWA, and I thought it was going to suck, and I was really impressed with this DVD. It actually got me interested, so I highly recommend you.
So Vern didn't pay his wrestlers, right?
For Super Clash 3, no.
Kind of reminds me of the Paul Heyman deal.
So, I highly recommend you check out the AWA DVD.
And I'm going to go with my number one here, and then Tommy has his number one. My number one was a DVD that I took so long to buy. I did. It was one of those DVDs I didn't want to buy because I heard so many... I didn't hear stuff. I heard just... When they brought it out, and then I heard it was going to be a documentary, but the person already passed away before this DVD was coming out. When I finally got my hands and to get it, I didn't pay that much for it. I think I only paid like $5 for it, and it is WWE Bobby the Brain Heenan. Now you're sitting there like, Joe, I know that you're a big fan of Bobby Heenan. You're correct, but this came out in 2010. I'm not sure if Bobby was, if he died or if he was just in really bad health at the time. It was one of the two, and they didn't interview Bobby at all because it's either he was, I think he was in bad health, and I think right after the DVD got released, I think he did pass away.
Yeah,
and they didn't. They did use some old clips of him and everything, and his daughter did a lot of the talking in this.
Yes, and his wife.
And I was so disappointed when I heard about that, but it ended up being a pretty good doc, honestly. So, a sleeper, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah.
I actually ended up enjoying it. Because I thought it was going to suck. I really did. Because I was like, they're just going to show clips of Bobby and, his wife and his daughter and some of the other wrestlers are going to talk about him. But they ended up doing a pretty good job on this DVD. So that's what I'm going to go with. This is my last one.
All right, my last one. And I shit on this DVD.
You have.
I have.
Yes, you have.
20 years too soon, the superstar Billy Graham story.
Why'd you shit on it all that time?
I don't know. I was just not a Billy Graham fan.
Yeah, you're just not Billy Graham.
Billy. Like, I have nothing against superstar Billy Graham, but then when I actually watched this, it was actually really good, actually. Especially when I didn't know much about superstar Billy Graham. And I kind of learned a lot about superstar Billy Graham.
Did you get that from Ollie's?
Yes, I did.
I can tell by the slide.
Yes, sure did. $4.
$4.
Ollie's, baby. That's where I get this. Yeah. Same thing as fucking the Big Show there.
Yeah.
But, this was actually really interesting.
Yes, it was.
Talking about superstar Billy Graham's life and all of his health issues. And I got to see how actually great superstar Billy Graham was back in the day.
He cut a great promo. And he looked good. The feather boa, the tie-dye. About Billy Graham, I enjoyed his commentary on when he was a commentator. And, and Billy Graham did
did say he ruined with the steroids and the drugs and hey, he was a WWE champ for like a year, I think it was.
Yeah.
Until he lost to Bob Backlund, but come on, he drew money back at that time. In the 70s.
Him and Dusty has some good
Him
matches.
and Dusty had great matches. Him and Bruno had good matches.
Mm-hmm.
He put on great matches with anyone that got in the ring with him.
See, this is one of these factors of don't just assume that this wrestler didn't change
Come
wrestling.
On. Everyone like a Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those Jesse Ventura. Those guys patterned themselves to superstar Billy Graham.
Yeah. Because Billy Graham was wearing the stuff in the late '60s.
Yes, and then the only horrible gimmick was when he was the Karate Man. That was horrible.
Everybody's kung fu fighting.
Even Billy didn't like it.
Yeah.
Billy just needed the money for the drug habit.
Yeah.
He even admitted it.
He even admitted it. Yeah.
He said that was for the drug habit.
Yep.
I was acting like karate in sweatpants.
And eventually he does get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The 2004 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and also he came back in the late 80s, but he was so horrible, bad shape, and everything. Well, he wasn't in bad shape. He was just
his body was beat down.
His body was beat down. And by the way, you couldn't make Billy Graham a baby face. Remember they made him a baby face.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the 80s. In WWF. He was not a baby face. He was a heel. Then he managed Morocco and stuff like that. And then I thought he was good on commentary. I mean, they put him on commentary. I remember he done a lot of WWF shows, house shows, superstars, all that. He did pretty good on commentary. He could talk. And I'm gonna be honest, he deserved to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Are you glad you watched that DVD?
Actually, yes. I'm actually glad I actually gave it a chance. And I felt bad for shitting on this DVD.
Absolutely.
And it was actually a great documentary, and I highly recommend you give it a watch.
But that's our 10. Well, we did 10 because it's both of us. But that's our 5 DVDs that we thought were going to be bad or, didn't really have much going into it and turned out to be a home run.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, the whole thing about these tag videos, you got to tag people in.
Yes, we do.
So, who you going to tag?
Well, we're going to tag Levante F. Smith from the Bowling Leaders Wrestling Podcast.
Absolutely.
Going to tag him.
I'm not sure if he has any wrestling DVDs, does he?
Well, he's tagged.
He's tagged.
So you better get to it, Levante. I don't give a damn if you got to buy 5. You better get to it.
Buy 5.
Next one I'm going to add is Nick Kurtz.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nick.
I'm going to add Nick Kurtz. And I'm going to add someone, the Detroit native. You know who I'm going to ask?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and do it. Video Game XD.
Video Game XD.
And
I know that Awesome 4K just did his recently.
And I'm going to add one more.
Go ahead, yeah.
Our Tennessee native, T.A. Couponer.
T.A. Couponer, the king of
There
deals.
we go. The deal maker.
And by the way, if you guys want to go check out Nick Kurtz's channel, we were actually guests on his channel about a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
We actually did a little trivia thing on his channel.
Yes, we did.
So go check
with the
that out.
DVD Freak.
With the DVD Freak. It was me, Tommy, Pops, the DVD Freak. Somebody didn't show up, and Nick.
Yeah.
And we had a ball. We always have fun catching up with the DVD Freak.
Yes, we did.
And Nick Kurtz. So go check that out on Nick Kurtz's channel. I know he has that up on his channel because I ended up watching it a few days ago.
Yes.
So, but you guys are tagged, and hopefully you guys do the video.
Yes.
And we hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it all over social media. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WrestlingRampage2. You can also follow us on Twitter at WrestleRampage. You can also follow me and Tommy on Instagram. As well as, guys, hit that subscribe button for more great videos coming to you guys because we're that cream that rises to the top.
The cream of the crop, and nobody does it better.